I don't think that I've ever talked about January 6th in a video, and I doubt that I will ever talk about it again. You know, if you don't realize that January 6th was performative, you're an idiot. If you don't realize that ICE and Homeland running around grabbing people all in your face, making these people go nutty was performative, you're insane. It's all performative. It doesn't matter. And these, if you want to call them partisan, these people are just morons. Well, it turns out that there were allegedly a bunch of undercover operatives at January 6th, but it goes way beyond that. And you only need to see one video to understand it. Only one video, and I'm going to show it to you. And here is that video now. You're going to watch this cop. This is a Capitol cop, right? And he's going to come over here. No windows have been broken out here yet. No one has entered the Capitol. Nothing down here yet. He's going to come over here, and he's going to throw a magazine from a gun behind his back. He's going to toss it. He's trying to evade detection by the camera. Check this out.
2:41 p.m. Watch closely as this United States Capitol Police officer is about to drop a gun magazine on the ground moments before election theft protesters make entrance into the Capitol. Pay attention to his hands as he will quickly toss it to the side.
Right here. He has it in that hand. He's going to flip it behind him. There it is.
There it is, a magazine for a handgun.
And it falls down to the ground.
Do you see it?
So it bounces and it falls over there. So there's the magazine. There's a reason why they separate the magazine and the gun in these settings, so that anybody can't just pick it up. The person that picks up the gun in the crowd knows that there is going to be a magazine nearby, and they have to put those two things together to get it to work. Does it have blanks in it? We don't know, but let's let it keep going.
Now watch as another officer walks right beside the magazine.
Yeah, they walk
almost
right
stepping
past
on
it.
While another stands feet away and doesn't notice a gun magazine laying on the ground in the heart of democracy.
This is the only video on this that you need to see. So a cop has already planted a magazine. A Capitol cop.
Now this officer seems to be looking towards the protesters who have assembled at the door to his right.
Yeah, he's waiting for his guy to show up.
What logical reason could he have for having dropped the magazine and left it there? Why has the other officer not alerted him of the dropped magazine? Now he inches back towards the handgun magazine. He is within just a few feet of it now.
He sees it. How can you not see it, right?
Now we will see two additional officers running towards the door with the
They
first
don't
two
see it.
officers as some of the very first
So there's
protesters
three.
make entrance into the Capitol.
4 officers
All 4
have passed and ignored it.
ignore or don't notice the magazine. There is another item on the floor that is believed to be a gun by some and a glove by others.
It looks like a little too big to be a gun, but it's something and it's been placed there.
This man will also ignore the magazine laying on the ground. As the protesters enter, the police move backwards near the magazine. During the pushing and shoving, the magazine seems to get kicked backwards.
Yeah, so it get fucked up. So they planted the magazine there, but then during this performative exercise, the magazine gets kicked back, right?
And eventually kicked aside by one officer, as another item appearing
Now watch this guy right here. This guy has entered the building, the first in, right?
to be a handgun is noticed by one.
Now a handgun gets kicked around. Suddenly, this handgun that was planted as well gets kicked around, and there it is.
One of the protesters.
He picks
He
it
actually
up,
picks it up,
totally picks up the handgun, and points it at the cops. And what do?
looks around,
He's looking for the
towards the police.
magazine.
then points a gun towards 5 police officers.
So he points a gun at these cops, and they do nothing. What would happen to you if you were on the street or in a Capitol building or wherever, and you pulled out a weapon and pointed it at somebody or a cop? You would be dead. Dead, dead, dead. They do absolutely nothing.
Did the thrown magazine fit this gun?
Now he's looking around
Miraculously, the
still.
cops don't.
Puts the gun down. The cops do nothing after that. And he's looking on the ground for the magazine. Look.
He doesn't seem to know what to do next.
Look at him. Look at
He
him.
keeps looking
Looking
down
around,
towards
looking
the
at the
ground,
ground. But that
as if he
magazine
is
got
missing
kicked back too far to do his performative part.
Something. He will meander around for a minute,
Then he puts a hat
then
on.
pull out a hat and put it on.
Puts a hat on. Then he goes and hides. Something's not maybe up with this. They dropped a magazine. They dropped a gun. And then tried to have this guy come in and performatively do something with it, and it
He
failed.
looks at the ground a few more moments and then leaves the area.
He can't find the magazine that he knew was going to be there.
What did the camera aiming towards the door show, you may ask?
So he
A
throws the
window
magazine,
smashed.
and then a gun is going to get
Presumably
thrown.
this is the gun we saw earlier being dropped through the broken window on the ground. An issue throughout all the January 6th footage I have noticed happens here. It's called data morphing. It happens all throughout the footage and at the most consequential times and places throughout the day. Like right now, one of the first break-ins at the
So a cop drops a magazine in the hallway, and then a gun falls through the window, a minute later. There are not odds to that. It was not a coincidence. This is the only video that you need to see about this subject, or about any of these subjects. I don't care if it's ICE or January 6th, regardless of what side of the aisle it's on. This is what it
Capitol on
is.
January 6th, the most consequential day in American history, making the footage useless at certain points.
Yeah, they intentionally did that, and then people can come to your channel when you're showing it to people and go, "It's video compression, dude." All that bullshit. All you have to remember is that cop, while there were no doors open and no broken windows, threw a magazine down, and then later a gun falls onto the floor,
As
and
some
then
of the
that
very
guy comes in
Item appearing to be a handgun
here.
is noticed by
He
one of
notices
the
it as it gets
protesters.
kicked around and
He
picks
actually
it up.
picks it up.
A magazine and a gun in the exact same spot. One falls through a window, one is planted by a cop at the exact same time. Amazing. That's all you need to know. Look out for Charlie.